fingers are so stiff today. Hello, welcome to the Nomad stream. I sound so tired. I feel like I haven't streamed today. I mean, I haven't streamed this week. It's partly because I'm trying to ramp up like my cardio and exercise. So like bouldering and then running, and then like I'm trying to, starting this week, I'm trying to do like bouldering and running alternating bouldering and running. I kind of want to like form my thoughts properly. bouldering and running every alternate days, like upper body and lower body. And I don't feel as fried as like doing super heavy deadlifts, but I still feel quite fried. Like there's a very diffused tiredness. Like it feels like it's hovering somewhere, but I just can't like, I feel like I can't grasp that feeling, but it's just all around. Anyway, hopefully I read up that when you ramp up like cardio or like running, or those, I guess like just ramp up your activity level, that it takes around 4 to 6 weeks to get used to it. So hopefully I'll get used to it and I can stream more. And I've been doing some work off stream, and like it always feels like there's never the perfect time to stream, and that's why I decided to do it now, even though I'm not really that prepared right now. But and also I'm just tired. But enough complaining. I'm going to show you around what I've done so far for my Nightreign, Elden Ring Nightreign sculpt progress. So this is the idea of it. I think from the last time I worked on the dogs, I didn't color them or anything. Yeah, but that's about it for them. I just added some color because, is this on? Because like everyone else were colored and they were the only ones who were like, they're just white. So that's why I did it. And so it started out like this. So you can see like they just blocked in. I'm not really sure whether I want to put the recluse here. Maybe I'll put her somewhere else because there are already 3 characters around. So Wilder, I always don't know how to say his name. Wilder is here. Guardian is here. And Duchess is here. I kind of like so I just came back from bouldering and my hands are still quite stiff. I need to stretch them out. But like it always feels like the tiredness hits me when I'm going home. I'll be like, right after the bouldering session, I'll be like, oh, I should have some energy to stream. And like on the way home and after showering and all that, I'll be feeling so tired. But it ends today. Today I will stream even though I'm tired. Anyway, so these were the initial block out. So I put them like this first to see like what I can, I guess like what I need to do, or to see whether or not the idea that I have in my head works out. And I feel like it did. So oh wait, this also this. Also did the chain, which is, there's this thing called, Charlie, I'm sorry to put you down, even though you're so cute. Okay, put you guys down. feel like I can't show Jordy's cuteness like this. I feel so sad. Maybe I can put it, and it's so dark. Oh well, it's alright. So I think I'll just quickly show you. There's this chain that I saw in the, I think when you see them fight, this sometimes you'll bring this chain with a sword. I haven't sculpted a sword yet, but I didn't notice this until like much later on, and I was like, oh, the sword would be cool to, like, right now there's this feeling of like, it feels a bit empty here or something. So if I do like a, where did I put turntable? So let's say if I do a turntable, there's some parts which are empty, and I can kind of cover that with, let's say, the flag in the boss arena. Oh, like this is incredibly empty. The boss from the flags in the sand dunes, maybe like a tree branch or something, because I saw that in the arena. But I think having one of the swords here, yeah, I think that will cover quite a bit of some emptiness. And I feel like when it comes to arranging the sculpt or like doing poses and stuff, that, yeah, sometimes just having more elements, I think it helps to, how to say, it helps to give like some dynamic direction, like various directions. So I try to make use of like whatever I can, and like, who knows, like maybe I'll add something else to this. Can you stop this? That isn't inside the arena. But anyway, this is a chain. It's quite a cool design. I'm not really sure whether this is the exact design because it's quite hard to see, but I think it's something like this. Like if I look at the grid, so if you look at the grid, and if I do like the side view, you can see that they are quite aligned, like so. And then why are you not aligned? Okay. And then the front, yeah, I think this is the shape of it. And then what you can do with this is to, so I made a smaller duplicate of this, like this, and then add a curve repeater. So let me just do it one more time. So like this, and then add a curve repeater. Oh, something else that I was doing was like trying to record tutorials. I feel like it's so hard and it's so scary. I haven't even look at, like, I still don't dare to look at my recordings because I feel quite, it's like embarrassed by it or something. But anyway, I'll probably look at it over the weekend. Let me see. So once you put this curve repeater on this object, you can see like there's a path that you can make. And then if you increase, not really sure, is it showing? Yeah. If you increase the count like that, and also rotate it with twists. Maybe I should put this up here. So if I twist this, oh wait, no, I need to rotate this so that like imagine a chain link is like this. And then this one is, it started out like that. Wait, is that, no, that's wrong. Oh shit. So it started out like this. So what I did was to rotate it. Oh shit, I drew it wrong again. Rotate this. Rotate this so that the loop interlinks together like this. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I rotate this about 45 degrees, and where is the count? Oh right, I'm not. Then going back to the curve, I just reduce it a bit so that it's linking up like that, and rotate it. Ta-da! So now there's a chain. So I think this is what the design is based on the trailer. Oh, hello Adam M. Thank you for coming. Thank you for liking my commentary. I'm really tired right now, so I'm just like chilling out and like zoning out right now. And also like I guess sometimes it's good to just run through what I have done so far, so that it's like some, I think, where is it? Like I think the process of doing all these individual things, like, so I was working on the recluse for a bit, and like I was working on this yesterday night, so it feels really like, how to say, it feels very like small picture. Oh my god, like what am I doing? So I'm just, let's like just walking through together with you guys on how, what, yeah, just stuff. Anyway, this one is not really that. So it's like sometimes that it doesn't really link up like this, and I think can just try to increase the count, and like it really doesn't matter because like from far like no one's gonna see it. But probably if you add a secondary twist, so I try not to add too many, so like you can add like twist to like every point like that, but usually how I try to work is to just like make sure that everything is good with one control point, and then if things are still not working out, then I'll use another one, and then like, oh, it's working out right now, but if there's still one more that's not working out, then I'll start going into, so it's just like working from like the big picture, and then just going bit by bit. Because if I start out like this at the beginning, like let's say I just do this, then it just becomes really messy. Anyway, I'll delete this. So that's what that was. I think once I started sculpting them, I started replacing these. So replacing this, you can see the leg is just, you know, maybe I should work on his boots today. Like it's so it's so toy-like. So like just putting the pose, and like doing the pose is quite good for setting up cameras, because eventually I'll bring this into Blender. And like I've done an Elden Ring Nomad Sculpt before this, and like one of the issues that I have with that sculpt was that I sculpted everything completely without like setting up camera angles. And like I'll just look at this and be like, oh, this is going to look cool in Blender. But then the problem with that was that when I started setting up the cameras, there was some like positions or like some poses which end up like blocking certain things that I just didn't think about, I guess. So even though I'm not done yet, like this is just a block in face, like it's still quite like even the details here is not there yet. But even though I haven't done that much yet, it's always good to set up camera angles like this, so that, yeah, so like when I set this up, I try to think about what everyone else are doing in this shot like this. And I think so he's over here, and when I think about it, what was the okay, like, so when I look at this, I'll be thinking, do I need to move him so that he is visible somewhere in this camera angle? Or yeah, so like Duchess is visible, but I will also have to think about from this angle, which, because I like this angle for the Guardian, then I guess I'll have to think about whether or not her pose is very off from this angle, since she's quite visible here. And then from here, this one, none of them are visible, but I guess I'll have to think about the tail eventually at some point, because right now this tail is really straight on. So maybe if it's like this, maybe, yeah, then now like this is forming this weird thing. But who knows, maybe in Blender I'll like think of look at like a different type of slightly different angle or something. But I'm quite happy with this. So I'll probably be like copying pasting these things. Yeah. And then this one, feels quite empty around here. So I'm not sure whether I want to do a vertical one like that. This one I'm not really sure. For this angle, probably would think about how this sword should look like, so that it doesn't, because I guess this is a good angle to show all the pups, and because this would be, I guess this would be the camera angle for the dogs, then the sword should be very visible in this one. Anyway, that's what I think about. Also, something very cool from Nomad Sculpt is right now you can can add like all these random stuff on this lower bar here. It's really cool. I think from the few hours that I was working, I was using all these, so these are just here right now. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that there's this that I can put like a clear all mask or invert or like clone parent and the like multi-res, because I don't really like these as like my hotkeys, because I can't like for the life of me I cannot remember all my hotkeys. And like sometimes I don't really like, especially the voxel button, like when it comes to buttons with like an operation that is RAM heavy, or what's it called, yeah, like intensive. I don't like it as a button, because like I don't want to like press it and like hang my, like press it accidentally and like just hang my yeah, like crash my shot. So I prefer these here. So it's cool. And I used to like go here to like turn this on and off. So it's really cool to have it here now. So it's pretty fast. So much planning needed. Yeah, it is good to think about these things, because like one of the mistakes for like the Nomad Sculpt was that because I only started planning at the end, that when I wanted to make, so like there's a goal fighting Masma, and she's using the dual wielding sword from the DLC, and her arm was like, so her arm was like this, like it was blocking her face. And like because everything was done, like the placement of the flames, where the birds are, or like where her direction is, like in relative to Masma, was like set, then I just didn't want to like shift anything else anymore. So yeah. So hopefully like from that lesson that I learned from the previous project, that I'll try to do things, like hopefully do things better this time around. Yeah. I bought the macropad. Oh, you bought the macropad because... Oh, I feel so touched. Thank you. I feel like your comment just gave me some needed energy. Thank you for coming back. And yes, like this is my best decision ever. I really like, because it's so thin, I really like carrying this around. So I hope that you really like your macropad and like bring it around everywhere. Enjoy sculpting and stuff at the cafe and all that. And like the nice, if you're using Nomad Sculpt, like the nice thing is that the bindings, you can set it to wherever you want. Like this is just the best. Like I love Nomad Sculpt. I'm gonna say like I love Nomad Sculpt every single stream. Yeah. I hope that you have fun with your macropad. Okay, moving on to, let me see. I guess I'm gonna hide these. I'm not even sure whether I will have time to sculpt anything today. But I think I want to, let me hide you. Probably next week I will work on the Duchess, and then there's like all the characters blocked in. Then I can start like going into individual ones. It feels like quite a slow process, but that's just how it is. Especially when there's like no custom brushes and stuff. Oh yeah, I need to, let me see. Can I bring, where is it? Oh yeah. I wonder whether I want to work on this today. Do I want to work on you today? Try for sharper image. But it looks really hard. I feel like I'm too tired about this shit. Oh, but maybe I can work on this today. Wait, I'm trying to think about what to do right now. What else can I don't really want to work on that. Let me see if there's a better shot of the armor plate. Maybe I'll work on this today. And I'm not going to do like a proper one, but I was thinking of like today before streaming I was thinking that I did this quite well, I think. So I wanted to show on stream how I did it. It might be a bit slow though. So like for the Guardian, I really have to work on his wings. But I'm procrastinating, so and then the other thing would be like these are looking so soft. And I realized when I close up that they're thinner, so what I'm gonna do would be to just slowly correct, like do like micro corrections of these, and then if I use the crease tool on the thin surface, like a tube, then it will become like shit. But what if I do this? Yeah, okay. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's better. So I probably would just, it's quite thin, right? And sometimes I use the crease tool as a pinch tool, just because I use dynamic topology a lot. So if I do this, oh my god, this. You know what, the idea was better in my head, but then right now that I'm executing it, it's like shit. So maybe I have to think of something else. Oh, it reminds me of like, wait, what was it? My mind's like all over the place tonight, or like this whole week it was all over the place. I think that's also part of why I just end up not streaming, because especially when I was working on her, I was just listening to music and not talking much and just doing, because talking while sculpting is really hard. Like, it uses so much, oh my god, it uses so much brain power for me. Okay, I don't know how to fix that. But oh yeah, so like something I found out while making my tutorial was that the existence of this tab right here, the operations tab. And I guess that's the lesson for today, for this stream, because I promised to teach like a small lesson every stream. There's this inflate button, which I wish that I knew from like for Macropad Sculpt, because I 3D printed Macropad Sculpt. I mean, I got someone to do the 3D printing, and one of the issues that I encountered was that a lot of the sculpt was too thin, especially the cloth. The cloth and like the cape, the weapons, they were all too thin. So when they printed, they either like warped or there are like holes and gaps in the print. And like I didn't know about this. Actually, I'm not really sure whether this existed in the older version of Nomad Sculpt. But if it was, then it would have been super helpful to just like do a uniform, like just do like a uniform inflate like that and get that printed out. Because yeah, it's just better to have things a bit thicker for printing. Yeah, but yeah, like it's really cool. Actually, it looks like this way, it looks a lot more closer than like whatever this shit is. Or like smoothing. Yeah, I didn't know that this exists for so long. I guess that's one good thing that came out of the of making that tutorial. Let me see. Anyway, have fun with this. I think something that I like to use this for was her clothes, because like I still don't really know how to sculpt clothes, and this is still like quite rough, like because I'm just trying to get. Let me see if I can bring up the, I keep forgetting which, this one. Yeah, so let me see. Amazing chest hit. Okay, this is not a good one. Maybe this one. So like I was following her. I'm just doing the rough shapes of where the wrinkles are on the clothes, like where it goes up and where it goes down, or like even this. So I haven't really gone into like touch up on them, but because I'm not like used to sculpting cloth, it ends up quite thick. Like there's a thickness to it which is not, it's not very cloth-like. Like cloth is supposed to be quite thin. So what I did with this was to just like deflate it as much as I can. So maybe I'll just do it right now. So I'll deflate this as much as I can. And orange means there's the back face. That means, like, let's say if the geometry is like this, there's like a front side and a back side, and the two faces are like going, like intersecting. Can I just move this? Why can't I just move this? You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. I guess there's too much. Wait, let me try again. You can see like the thickness is not uniform, so some parts are still thicker than the others. Then I'll just lightly go with the inflate brush to thicken the mesh again, so that the back face will go back to where it's supposed to be. So now it's thinner. I think if I do this to this, can I do that? Yeah, so before was like this, and after is thinner. There's like things like this are still too thick, but there's still like the, oh my god, this is still the block in face. Yeah, so this is super cool. Also, when I feel like it's too thin, and sometimes I feel like with a thin piece of mesh, I think even over here they say that it can be used. Wait, is it here? Yeah, like it can be useful if you want to paint part of a thin geometry without impacting the other side. So like sometimes I find that sculpting on a really thin mesh is a bit difficult for me. So this is just really nice. Like, look at that. It's nice to have like a uniform operation, but no, this is like super rough. What the hell are you? I probably have to redo this at some point. Yeah, having colors really is nice. Let me. It looks good. Looking at the comments right now, it's like a sculpting the kind of mesh. I'm not really sure which kind of mesh you're referring to, but I'm also having some difficulty in sculpting this, which is why the progress is quite slow. But yeah, I'm trying to think about how much I'm gonna do in the sculpting phase and how much I'm going to do in the blender phase and then Procreate, because like I can probably just dump quite a lot of work in the Procreate phase, but then I'm not really that good at like painting stuff. I'm good at editing stuff. So yeah, I'm not really sure. So I think these are all instances of each other. So if I edit this, you can see it's affecting everything. And I think that's good. I think, oh, let me hide this. Try not to chat. Oh, you can chat. Okay, what else that is? I think there's nothing much here to talk about. Or something that, so like this is probably something that I was thinking of. Let me move this. Something that I thought of when I sculpted Masmi's cape was that, like, I didn't do like the ins and outs of cloth as much as I would have wanted. And I was wondering like what method I'll do to yeah, I was wondering like what method I should do to like either like speed things up or to try to like exaggerate the folds a bit more. So like for this case, and I haven't done the back yet, so maybe let me look at the back. Maybe there's something that I can do. I think the back is not that important though, because I'm most likely not going to show this, the back side is not going to show inside, okay, in the renders, I think. But I can do a demonstration. And I'll do it with the paint off because it's easier to see this way. So like, I'll mask this section here. Let me see. Yeah. And then I'll use the drag tool. Actually, you know what? Let me mask. It's really manual the way that I do things. Because I guess in some sense, like I can, because like I try to think about things, especially for problem solving. I try to think of things like in a systematic way so that I can figure things out. So what I'm thinking of is that the clothes fold is like this, like it goes up and down, up and down. So I think the backside, she also has like these folds. And actually, is this one going out? Maybe this is going out. Or is it going in? Okay, so I think this will be out. This is going in. Then and super rough. Like I really don't need this to be neat on anything. Give me like that. It doesn't matter if the back face is showing because I'm going to smooth this out later on. I just want to exaggerate this and make sure that this is curving. Not sure whether this is too big though, but yeah, that either way doesn't matter. And then invert this and maybe like push this out like this. I don't really know what the side will be. Maybe I should push it in. To be honest, this is my second time doing this, so like it's still a bit messy because I don't really know whether it's working or not. But I think maybe it is. So when I get like a rough shape, now I will clear the mask, and with dynamic topology I'm just going to smooth. Yeah, maybe this one should be inflated a bit. And as usual, I don't really know whether things are working out. So if this end up as a disaster, then just ignore this. And just move things. I feel like it's a bit disastrous. Wait here. Okay. Well, the problem is that it's quite like a block. It looks like you can play Mario 94 on this. But we know Super Mario Bros on this. So we don't want the block, we want it to be curved, and like because this is the backside, I'm really not going to make it neat or anything. Oops. Also looking at the side view, making sure that oh, thank you, Adam M. I really like my workflow too, and I'm happy that you can learn from it. Yeah, so usually it will go out this way. So I'll use the drag tool to spin it outwards. And usually the way that I like to sculpt is like I start out really messy and then I start looking at like not really like a flat view, but I try to think, what's this? I try to think of things as like, sorry, I'm getting distracted with this. I try to fix things based on like the front view, or like then I will rotate like 90 degrees or something roughly and look at problems in that section. Because the way that I like to work is to just keep finding problems that really sticks out, because that's the easiest things to work on. This was a bit distracting. I need to make this thinner. Sometimes like bottom view and then like, oh, this shape is not nice, so I'll just fix that a bit. Okay, like hopefully I still don't really know what I want my tutorials to, the style of it to be like, but hopefully I can just cut out all these manual work so that it's faster and stuff. I should listen to some music. So same thing, I'll look at this angle now and be like, this looks like shit, and then because I'm quite used to sculpting now, so I can kind of think of things in like what like I have an idea what this looks like in the side view, and I know that this is really flat, so I'm going to turn this now and just make it rounder. Yes, it's nice to chill out like this, especially when I'm tired, and smooth out if I can. Sometimes when I'm just blocking in, I like to use a smaller one, smaller percentage, because you can see like it was quite like blocky before, right? But then when you reduce the poly, like this a bit technical, like when you reduce the number of faces, the surface has no choice but to like start smoothing out. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. So like that's kind of a hack that I like to do sometimes, where like oh, I want to like smooth it and like average it out, and then I'll just reduce this, and then it's nice and smooth now. And then once I'm happy with this, I can go back to higher resolution, and look, like now it's like a nice looking skirt, I think. Like if you look at, let me see, can I, she's a bit scary to click on this. You know what, never mind. I should have cloned this and like just put it aside so that it's, yeah. Like, and also sometimes it's a lot easier to move things around from different, like from here. It's going to be hard for me to move this, but from the bottom view, I'm like, oh, it's easier to sculpt these like that. And then now it's interacting. Let me see. Right now it's interacting with skirt, but I'm not really sure whether, like, is she even standing up straight? She's not standing up straight. What the hell? I need to fix this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Also, because the way that I use dynamic topology is really is based on the level of zoom on the screen. So if I'm like this close and I sculpt on it, versus like if I far away and then I do the same thing. So you can see like it's a lot less resolution this way. So the problem with this would be, and I guess if I'm going to make a tutorial about this, is like one of the important concepts to learn would be that sometimes I'll need this off to manipulate things that already is like that I don't want to change. Or if I want to move things in like the bigger picture and do it further away like this, like maybe I want to move her hair inward like that. If I move it with the dynamic topology on, you can see like I start losing the resolution. So like because dynamic topology is a key map onto my macropad, if I hold it down, oh wait, I guess I'm going ahead of myself. So if you drag this out like that and close it up, if I hold dynamic topology, then it will bring it up again. So this is quite cool. Like I really like this. Good job. Yeah, good job. Thank you. I really want to do FromSoft pen sculpts well, so that one day Miyazaki will notice me. Although it's a bit, I guess it's a bit like too much of a dream. I'm gonna put this inward a bit. I'm gonna fix the leg. Let me just fix it right now. Everything's quite messy because I'm just like building stuff. But eventually I need to rename all this. Like right now everything's just a box, group, sphere. Let me hide this. Do I just... Oh wait. Pivot point is wrong. I'm just gonna make her stand straight. That's the grip. And then bring up her skirt. I think I'll just rotate this. Doesn't really matter because like what I said, the side view and the back view is not, I'm not going to render it in Blender. But right now this skirt is annoying me. Like it's cutting into everything. And that's why I'm just moving things around. So now I'm kind of happy with the placement of this. And then, so like try to work from the inner layer to out. And because I'm happy with where this is, now I can move this one. I just try to think of things logically. But like, you don't want clothes to intersect. I feel like we need to bring it up a lot. So I think I need to mask this because I made it too curved. It's so ugly on this in this angle. I need to fix that. Maybe I'll exaggerate this a bit. And then fix this shape a bit. So something like this. And then now that I'm happy with this, I need to fix, making sure that the whole cloth, because like logically this skirt is like a piece of a square, like a square piece of cloth. So even if it goes in and out a bit, the height of the cloth should stay quite consistent. So that's what I think about when I am doing this. So now that's done, can use dynamic topology, bring it down to fix these areas right here. And then because I want to retain this, I'll go higher. Because if I go like really low and I smooth this out, then I'm losing all the detail here. Especially around the edges. If I do this, then it will disappear quite a lot. So I'm just making sure that I'm really careful with the edges. And then this one's a bit, I like this, but it's not seamless like this. So I'm going to bring it up. Like that. You know, it still looks quite weird. Sometimes I need to like think about it a bit of like why things look weird and be like, it's because the wrinkles are not going all the way up. But I think I'm wasting too much time on this. Like, I need to work on something else. Something's weird, but I don't really know what it is. What? Just let me see. Well, normally I'll just spend so much time on like trying to fix things. So you get the idea. I don't want to fix that anymore. I'm just gonna hide that. Okay, so like for her it's quite, I guess, straightforward. Like just making different shapes. I don't know how this backside, so like in the game I can see that she has this section here, but I don't really know how it connects to the front, so I just left it alone. Anyway, it's at the back, so I don't really have to give a shit about it. Then the other thing is, like, I was thinking I don't really want to do texturing, but I'm not really sure. I haven't textured in a really long time, so I was trying different methods. And oh, do you usually prefer to have it a bit high? Now that you asked that question, I thought I would know the answer to it, but look and face. Dude, I think maybe he will be a better. Oh, I guess like because his boots is really low poly right now. I mean, like, it looks like some worm. So it's a good example to talk about. So I think I kind of have this like habit now. Can I where I think the thing that I would say first would be default would be 100, and then you just keep sculpting till you get a sense of like how it feels like to sculpt with 50%, how it feels like to sculpt with 200%. So like for now, and this is because I have the iPad Pro M4. So I was sculpting on the iPad Pro, the 2015 Generation 1 version. And I feel like if I sculpted at this, you know what, let me just... let me see. Where is dynamic topology? It's because this an okay, let me... Yeah, okay, so like I think for one thing it depends on your iPad. And I think Nomad Sculpt is really strong on any iPad, I think. Because this like 2015 Generation 1 iPad Pro. And I think the RAM, what's the RAM? I guess the RAM is 2 gigs of RAM, or like 1 gig. So like around like 160, you can see like it starts turning orange. and then if you go even higher, it starts turning red. This kind of Nomad's way of saying like, oh, it's going to be really laggy, like it's too intensive for what RAM you have right now. And also, I really like talking about these right now because I'm so tired. Maybe I'm procrastinating from sculpting. So I'm really happy to answer this question right now. So I think around with my older iPad, I rarely sculpt like this high, like this detail, because I didn't want it to crash. So maybe although I'm not really sure, like, I guess if I look back at my live streams then I will know. So I probably just have it around like this. Yeah, so that's like one consideration. But like on this iPad M4, I've been realizing if I bring the Guardian up, like this one, it looks so like, it looks a bit messy up close, but the render is going to be from this distance, so it doesn't really matter. But when I was doing his you know what, this is the best example. Yeah, so like when I was working on the details and stuff, then am I being too long-winded? So I think I like to be around like 200% when hello Oscar, hello, and I have a late night stream today, so happy to bump into you. Thank you as always. But anyway, back to dynamic topology. So like this is kind of something that I what time is it now? 1 a.m. Oh my god, my brain's so tired. I'm trying to do this 5k to couch to 5k run, because my physiotherapist recommended. I asked her like, what's a great way to just get better at running, and she was like, couch to 5k, like that's really good. So I just my boyfriend and I chose a random couch to 5k schedule, and we have been running like almost every alternate day, like 30 minutes. Feels quite intense. Yeah, so like I like to be around here when I'm doing detailing, and I already know that I like the shape of this. So I'm not going to, so you can see this one. Oh, actually this is a good example. If you look at this, I was probably around, let me see. I was probably around 100% at this point. But even before this, I was at like this. Or actually I was even, let me see. Maybe I was around like 50%. Like just to move this around. Because if I go up really high, I just put it here. If I do this, then you can see like how hard it is to move things around. Like it becomes really like warpy and all that. So I just thought about it. So the way that I like to think about it is that when it becomes hard to control, then I just go lower. So even lower. So like another example, I would just give another example. So if I do this and then I'm like, oh my god, it's so hard to move things around because there's so much polygon going on. When this happens, when this happens, then I will go down and then like move things around, and then like, oh, this is still too much, then I go down and then I just move things around even more. And because there's so like even lower, there's so little polygon, like it can't like warp anymore. So I go back high up and then I do this. You can see because there's so many vertices and all that, it becomes like it can just go anywhere like that. So going back down, smooth this out. It's still so lumpy, I just go back down even more, smooth it out. It's still not. Yeah, like sometimes I can even go like 13% and just smooth it out, and then oh, it looks so much nicer like this. Yeah, it's so smooth. But of course now there's the problem of like it looks so polygonal. So I go back up, and then like, oh, it's not enough. Then I go back up, and then that's generally how I work. And you can see like because I work this way, I'm not really worried about like messing things up. So like if it's like that, it's very fixable for me. So yeah, eventually this is going to look like that. But then after doing a little demo of like how I was going to do it and it didn't work out, I'm going to think about how I want to do it. Yeah, maybe I'll try something out off stream, and then if it works out, then I'll do the rest during the stream. Yeah, I hope that helps with how I work with dynamic topology, and yeah, I hope that it makes sense to you. The same thing goes for like his shoe, for example. Let me look at his shoe. Where is your shoe? Where's your shoe? It's not really a good shot. Like, I don't really know how the ropes look like. But I guess it's this high. No, it's even higher. So same thing with this shoe. I'm going to do another example with dynamic topology. Is that, let me solo this. If let's say I start out really high up like this. You're welcome. Thank you for asking questions like this. I like to share what I know, because it's always fun to like share like what I know with art, and like enable other people to do it, because it's just more fun when like more and more people can do the things that I do. It's quite, I feel like it's quite sad if I'm the only one who knows how to do it. I wish that more people around me can do art too and stuff. Okay, so something like this. Wait, right now I'm blocking it. I guess I'll bring up this tiny picture of him. And yeah, so if I go up really high, and let me see how high I can go. Oh, 300% is the max. I haven't hit the max before. I didn't know that this was the max. Okay, so let's say I would go this high, and then I'm going to start blocking this in, right? It's going to be like tough because like this is undoable, right? But because it's like so many polygons, that you can start seeing that this shape is quite ugly. Like it's very lumpy. And let me just turn this. Yeah, like, and also this part is so lumpy. If I want to fix this, I will just keep adding more and more lumps it becomes really hard to manage. So let's reset that. And then smooth this out. It's so lumpy here, so I just go down. I haven't really touched his boots yet, so I haven't really touched his boots. So you can see like it's still really messy, but it's also like a great example of how I start blocking things in to how I start detailing stuff. So with a very low topology, sometimes with like super low, then it kind of messes up. I don't really have a thin thing here. Something thin. Yeah, so like something like this. If my dynamic topology is really low, you can see like it starts destroying stuff. And that's like a sign where I'm like, okay, I need to go up even higher. And if I'm not happy with that, I just go even higher. Or if I'm not happy with that, just go lower. Or like, let's say if for some reason I don't like this thing, I will intentionally go... Why are you disappearing? I'll go lower to smooth this out. And then it becomes really smooth. So that's like something to consider when the mesh is really thin. But because his boots is like so chunky like this, then I'm just going to it's easier to manipulate, I guess. So this one, smooth this out. It has to be bigger though, so but yeah, typically when I do detailing, I like to be around 200. Well, of course, this is still considered like the first pass lock-in phase. So yeah, like who knows, maybe if I go into the details that I'll go even higher, like maybe 220%. But I feel like going to 300 is like, I think it's a bit overkill. Yeah, like let me save this first. For example, this one. This was done in 200%. This was like 200+%. And I can already get these details like this. Like that. I mean, of course, if I go in, then yeah, like it is quite... You can see the vertices and stuff, but like from this distance, you can't see it. So I think 200% is not... It's really good enough for me, like around 220% if I want to get into the specifics. Yeah, so like this is a good example to show like I think 300% is overkill. Let me go back. And I think this one was also done in like around 200%. Yeah, like I don't even know if I bring... Where are you? No. Is it? Yeah, so I instanced this this whole thing. So whatever changes I made there is reflected here. Yeah, like even if I do this, it's so maybe I'm wasting my time, and like it's not even showing up in the camera angles. What am I doing? Ah, damn it. There's also something that I consider with the camera shots, that like maybe the work that I did here is too much. Let me go back to his boots. I'm procrastinating because I don't really know what's going on with his boots. But at least I know that it's supposed to be quite straight. At least before the ropes comes in. And another thing is that once I want to go into detailing, because his the ropes are going into the pressing into his boots, then around this time we're like, oh, this too low poly, so then that's when I start going up like that. But right now I'm still trying to figure out what his shape is supposed to be. I don't know whether I just want to cut this. Should I cut this? Looks like his legs are wider too. Because right now these where is it? Right now these boots are instances of each other. So if I use the gizmo tool, I think there's no other way to do this. But if I use the gizmo tool, it only affects one side. So right now I'm using the drag tool to manually shift them so that they will match up. Like that. Like he's stepping out quite wide. And I think these are supposed to be bigger. And remember to change the angles to fix. I don't know how to sculpt boots. Like this. And then I think right now 100% is not bad for this. Then eventually I need to do the sole. But I need to figure out this whole situation right now. I guess because it's a boot, the overall shape would be a cylinder. Our line is getting quite long. Make sure that the opening of the boot is, because you don't want a boot that is like that. Thank you for reminding me not to procrastinate. I feel like procrastination is like a constant battle every day. It feels like his boot is a bit too much like a stick. Just gonna get some volume and I know that he's standing quite like outward right now, but I'm not going to. Should I care about that? Or maybe I'll just match up. Why is it so? Maybe I'll match up like just so that I can. Oh wait, You know, I'm just gonna mirror this. I think it's. Where are you? Yeah. My outline is a mess. I need to. Maybe I'll spend the weekend to neaten this up. Yeah, right now I'm doing a lot of changes to this. So I'm going to consider doing a mirror. And the way I do that is quite simple. I can either take a mirror from something like this, I'll clone this, and then so just taking something that exists, because the mirror is here right now and it's perfectly usable for me. Like let's say if I select the boot and then I add a mirror, the mirror will be either at the walled origin right here, or it will be, if I'm in the gizmo tool, it will be here. It'll be here. But I want the mirror to be in the middle of him. So that's just the decision to do that. Then let me hide this. The good thing about this is that I can use the gizmo tool right now. And when I'm happy with that, then what I will do would be to take this out, instance this, and then wait, what was it? How did I do it last time? And then negative. Oh wait, wrong. If I add this group and then I add negative scale to this, yeah, I need to fix the finer details. There, that's the idea for how these are made. I'm gonna undo that. I think let me make this wider. There's something like this. I guess I feel like it's shorter. Are you shorter or are you? I think because it's a boot that's flat, this thing should be straight too. I'm trying to guess the shape of the boot would be like a footprint. I'm trying to think of what the footprint looks like. And then eventually I'll flatten this, but I feel like right now because I'm trying to fix everything else that's not necessary right now. So there is quite a bump, but this one is also quite high. So it's like that, and then bumps out like this. And this one should slope. Also be better if I can see a top view, but I don't really want to change the angle right now. When working with mirrors, let's say if I'm sculpting on this, sometimes I like to, like, you can see it, I can see like this issue right here. Then I'll just like click on this and jump on this and start sculpting this side. It's very flexible this way. And I think right now I want to go even lower. Yeah, I feel like with the dynamic topology thing that it was so much trial and error. And what I'm doing right now is just based on intuition from the hours of spending my time on the Macropad sculpt. So just take your time to get used to it. And I think people usually don't really sculpt with dynamic topology, so I'm not really that honestly I'm not that confident that I should be telling people to use dynamic topology, because like I did come from a background of 3D animation, and I learned how to do like topology, read topology, like meshes, low poly meshes, texturing, like how to like optimize the topology and all that. And those are quite helpful knowledge when starting out. But then there's also the thing of like being able to sculpt so freely, like as if you're adding or taking off clay in your hands. I feel like that's also something that maybe like people will appreciate when they're starting out. So I don't know. Especially for 2D artists like me, who I like to draw details instead of thinking about optimizing my mesh and stuff. Then I feel this way it feels more like in some sense it feels less technical. And why are you still so? I'm just roughly doing this, and then it opens up to, I guess it opens up like my brain power to think about other things rather than the technical stuff, because I'm not really that great at thinking about technical things. So this one, the lake is going to point out like this, but I think this lake's really quite far. I'm just following the ref because I find it hard to see what his, is he balancing right now? I'll see balancing from sheer power, willpower. Make sure that he can stand on his own and that he's not rolling his ankle. feel like the edges are always so hard to do, like the subtle angles, so that he's not like twisting his ankles and stuff. And right now it's like getting really hard to, I feel like I'm starting to lose stuff. Even though I feel like the rafts are quite good, it's still quite hard to use the rafts properly. But just like try to rotate around and try to get as much correct as possible. And then I think that's the beauty of doing sculpting, that once it's here, technically all I just need to do is to move things around in 3D space until they look correct. So I'm going to shape out this side right here. Right now it's a bit skewed this way. I feel like his boot is not wide enough. Like it's going to be hard for him to fit his foot. There's also a thing of like I can see that something is wrong, but then I'll be like, what's wrong? I can't tell what's wrong. So when times like that happens, I just move to like something else. Maybe it's a bit too, maybe right now it's a bit too like, I don't think that shows. Yeah. Oh, dynamic topology is coming used now. I see. I think I would look at zebra summits and stuff just to get a bit of update on how people use stuff nowadays in the industry. And I think dynamic topology is really good for things like dragon scales. So I saw From Software in 2019, they demonstrated Sculptist Pro, and it's really good for, so like they've done the base mesh for the dragon, and then they were adding the super high detailed dragon scale. So I think so far what I've seen is at least on YouTube, not people that I personally know anything, because I don't know any sculptors actually. Yeah, I see them using it for like, where is it? For like something like this. But then even with this and using Sculptist Pro to add the details, they're still working with subdivisions. So that's the thing that I'm not really sure about. Like it seems like even until now people are still using subdivisions. And like the only reason why I'm not using subdivisions is because the stuff that I like to do tends to be more like this. And then it just becomes like a pain to think about, like, oh, how many how does the vertex like, it becomes a pain to be like, oh, this is the wrong color. Like, oh, it has to be like this, and then this one, oh my god, so shit. And then it starts curving in like this. Oh my god. And then where's the 5 point, wait, this is how you do, yeah, like where the 5 point is, stuff like that. I mean, I know that there's the quad remesher thing, but yeah, I feel like even up till this point, I was still moving things around quite a lot. Like I was changing the shape a lot for this, even when I really had all these detail, and then I was moving things like this. So eventually I stopped thinking about subdivisions because it was getting in the way. But I think for something like what? Where is it? No, something like this. Does this have subdivisions? Yeah, I guess this is the first time that I use subdivisions. Well, for the boot, like I'm not going to do subdivisions. Like it's a pain. It's a pain to think about subdivisions. So I think the shape has come a good way. I feel like right now this is too high. Is it too high? Or is it down? It's still very hard to tell. I can't even tell whether his skirt is too long right now. So looking around from this angle, you can see that the leg is bent like that. So I make sure that, oh my god, it's so hard too. When I think about legs, I'm not really the best at anatomy. But what I like to think about is, I haven't drawn in so long. Wait, is this how you draw? Oh my god. I feel so exposed right now. Wait, like this, like that, like that. The kneecap is here. There's a straight thing, and then there's the thing like that, and then the foot. So I'm thinking about like these shapes when I think about this. Right now the leg is like that. So I'm just trying to make it more just like I think this is something that I learned from a rant like many years ago on figure drawing, on like how to draw like beautiful leg shapes. Like, can I screenshot like this? Like even from the side view, you want to like do this for the leg, something like that. Like that's how you draw nice with like moving your arms around, like move like that. So I think it's quite useful to have that kind of information, even if the information is not completely accurate. Like you can tell like I don't really have an idea of where the quads are or where the kneecap is supposed to be. but it's still very helpful to do like overall structure from far. And then I'll just go into Procreate and fix wherever shitty anatomy that I did in Sculpt. Maybe I was saying that I'm gonna do this one, but maybe I'll just do it next time. Today is just about doing the things that really stand out the most, I think. Because technically, if I just subdivide this, like this, it's not too bad. But this one looked really bad, so I want to fix this. Not sure if Nomad Sculpt has this silhouette feature. I don't know what the silhouette feature is. What? Let me look up. Sounds interesting. Silhouette features in to turn it black and white. The one over here. I think there's some. If I'm correct of what you're referring to, I wish that there was this silhouette tracker for Nomad. I don't think it's. Wherever it is, I think it's not available in Nomad Sculpt. I think. Let's see. Yeah, I think even though this is quite blocky, still it's 1,000 times better than what we started with. Okay, I guess it's thinner than I thought. I like to go into solo mode to like rotate around and fix the some parts are still weird, but then it's like I'm going to use once I start doing the ropes, then that's when I will start fixing stuff. Because I don't really know the height of this boot, whether or not it's correct. And make sure that wherever it's supposed to be circular is not like a cube. I think that really brings things a long way. Let me see. I think it's round enough. Then where are your ropes? And now I'm going to use the rope to figure things out. I'm not sure whether it's symmetrical, but I'm going to restart this. As in, I don't know whether the ropes are the same on both sides, but I think it doesn't matter. So I have snap on right now. So with tubes, it's just this one, this tube thing. I've really adjusted the color, but the color is still off. I think it's more saturated, more gray, a bit darker, bright, and then yeah, I think maybe a bit more orange. Okay. As long as the colors look nice in relation with the others, I'm not too picky. So I'm going to because I think it's one. I'm looking at the reference. I think it should be one piece of rope. I don't even know why he's like putting ropes on his boots. It looks so uncomfortable. But because I think it's one string, I'm going to put one here and put the other end up there. And then I'm going to start. I'm going to start going around him. So it goes like this is the one that I can see. That's why I'm working on this one. Also, I have no idea what the other things are doing. Actually, it doesn't matter if I match it or not. Okay, I don't know what's going on there, so I'm gonna work on this one. Just very roughly going around first. Because I guess I need to go soon. And then go up. Goes around. And then goes up like this. And then I guess it goes around again. And then it goes around. And then I can't see what's going on. It goes around. Yeah, maybe it just goes up like this. And then it loops around here. It's still subjected to change. That's why I'm not that particular about. I mean, I think it's too high. So that's the top of the boot. I made a mistake. this where the ankle is. I mean where the knee is. So it should be I'm just going to find the average. This I'm looking at this shape, the negative shape here. And I guess it's like one third, one. I think it's bigger. Okay. I think I'll just restart this. I think something handy about the tube tool is that if you select the tube with a specific design that you want, and then you draw again, it will copy that. So that's something nice to know. So let me select this and then draw this. Before that, I'm going to block in this one so that I don't make the same mistake. Making sure that the distance here is, oh shit, it went down a bit. So making sure that the height is accurate. So that's this one, and then I'll mark this one out a bit. Everything looks quite bad at the beginning because it's like around this time is when I'm trying to figure a lot of things out. And I don't want to draw into it right now because I think I should do the rope first, and then the sculpting comes afterwards. Okay, back to square one. And making sure that I know where the knee is this time around. The knee is here. Let me just mark it. Is the knee here? Yeah, somewhere there. Just putting the landmarks. And I guess the rope. Is hinging on where. I mean, I hope so, or else it'll be so uncomfortable. So I'm going to make sure that based on logic, the rope should be where he creased at. So this one, and then it goes around again, and after it goes around again, it goes up. Well, that maybe doesn't really make sense. It goes up here, and goes around. Okay, so it should be here. And then, okay, now things are lining up better. So it was helpful to have the landmarks. So something like this. It starts getting a bit hard to see. I was getting the same problem with doing mesmer snakes and stuff. It starts becoming hard to see what it looks like with all the dots. So maybe I'll just do. Should I just do half of it first? Or just do everything? So it goes this. Something like this, and then it goes down. So this is correct. The knee is here. The knee is there. Something's wrong. The knee shouldn't be. But right, the knee is there. This has to be up. Because I think. I feel like his knee is actually quite. Oh my god, like, I think there's an I can spend forever trying to fix everything, but I don't have that much time. I'm keeping track of how many hours I spend on every project, And because this is not my first time doing Sculpt to Blender to Procreate, technically I should be able to do this faster than the Macropad Sculpt. So 2.5 months is my maximum limit. Where is it? It goes down like that. Okay. I feel like something else is going on. I think maybe I'll do a second rope going up, because this is getting really messy. But now that I'm happy with this, including the thickness, then I start going to profile. What the hell is this? There's something new that I haven't seen before. Normally for ropes, I like to do like this. Something like this. And then wait, is it correct? Is this one the downside for having such a long thing? So I think I'll break it up. I think it's too long. So I clone the tube and make all this disappear. So maybe like this much. And then I'm not sure whether there's a way to delete a bunch. Wait, I did a mistake. Why is it doing this? And to do a rope, because you have to spin like this, you're spinning it like this. So right off the bat, I already have 2 points like this, so that I can twist. I'm sorry, I need to focus on this, so I'm not looking at the comments right now. I'm seeing some questions, but I need to. Was it like this? Actually, maybe ropes are. Wait a minute. Is this how ropes are? Maybe it's wrong. Is it like this? Oh my god. No, I guess like this is fine. Because if you, like, let's say if I color, like, just for example, can I? No. Let's say if I color the inside like this, then I think it looks like rope. Oh no, it's wrong. You know it's correct. Like going nuts every time. Then right now it's 26. I feel like it's a bit too long. I don't really like to work with super large numbers, but I think this is too long. I don't know what to do. Oh my god, it's freaking long. Okay, so now I can go back to, now that this shape is done, I can go back to the radius, because it got, I think got a bit thicker. I'm just gonna type 0.05. And then the same thing here, 0.05. I think it's getting late, so I'm going to just quickly show what I'm going to do with the boot. So this is around the time when I'm going to I guess detail it, and of course I will have to think about whether or not right now the ropes are too like big, but for the purpose of the demo right now, and also just to close it up with more dynamic topology on detailing, so if I do this, I'll be like, oh, I'll be quite happy with this kind of, let me choose this, like I'm quite happy with this detail, so I'll just stick with this. I'm just gonna quickly go around with the crease. I'm going to, this is also where like the fun part begins. Like I really don't like the detailing, the block and face. This is where it gets more how to say, because I will need to refine this. This is like super messy right now, but I just want to show this before I go. And then not sure whether I will use the inflate, because inflate seems to be quite good for this. You want to look at the chat. Do I ever plan on making videos about using Nomad? Well, I just tried recording a tutorial. And I feel like making tutorials, I guess like maybe I'm quite weird, but I feel like live streaming is not that scary, because I feel like whatever I'm doing, like I have the confidence that it will turn out fine. But maybe with tutorials, because I need to edit it and think about the script, think about stuff, then it becomes quite nerve-wracking. Or like it feels like there's so many things to correct that yeah, a tutorial will come out soon. I don't know when soon is. But I decided to make the first tutorial to be about how I organize my files and stuff, because that was something that I struggled with quite a bit. Like when I started out, it was just this one, so I didn't really have to think about organizing my files and all that. But now I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a few projects. So it kind of took a bit to understand. Like the funny thing was that I did some sculpt a long time ago, and this was when I was still quite new to it, which was a good thing for me, because I lost so much. I lost so much of my work. Like there's this thing about autosave, right? I don't really know how, but somehow, because I kind of messed up, how to say it, like I kind of got rename or open or something mixed up, and then so I kept thinking that I was saving my file, but then at the end of the day I closed Nomad Sculpt, and then when I reopened the file, like my work was gone. That was like very painful memories. And then there was one time when I just lost everything. But so I was thinking just for getting used to making tutorials, I guess, or like just starting out, that I'll just do something simple and something super basic, which is like just how to use this and how I organize my files and all that. Because I think there are like a lot of people who would struggle with that, like I did as a noob too. I'm not sure, like I don't know whether I'm the only one who's stupid enough to lose so much of my work in the beginning because I didn't know how to use this. It sounds so stupid, but oh, look, it's looking nice. Wow. You didn't see how it looks like before. Oops. Where is it? Look at how shit it looks before. And look at it now. It looks so pretty. I still don't understand why he's doing this to himself, but I'm not gonna judge. Yeah, super important to do the base shape as accurately is very, very painful. It's super painful, like how tedious it is. And sometimes like just outright boring to get the shape right. But once that's done, then you can see like how fast it is to just get, where is it? This one. You can also use the brush tool, but I like how inflate tool has like a softer fall off. I think that's what it is. It works really well for his boot. And looking at this, I'm also thinking of like once I get my first tutorial out that maybe I'll kind of like ask people to comment, or like you can also comment in the live streams to tell me like what kind of tutorials you guys want, because like sometimes I don't really have a clear sense of what, like I think a lot about how I struggled in the past, and I try to think about I guess I tried to think about what's it called? It's sounding so hard I need to say it. But I guess okay, it's more like I try to not forget how much I struggled in the past. So I think that's a couple of things that I would definitely make tutorials about. But what's this? But yeah, like something like this where it's very specific. Yeah, I don't really know how I want to make my tutorials for dynamic topology too. It feels like there's so much things to do. But I also don't really want to make long videos. Yeah, I guess like I want to make tutorials that is versatile, like it can be universal. Like it's more about like the lessons learned instead of like, oh, make this specific boot that feels like it's gonna kill your legs or something. So I want to try and make, like, let's say if I make a tutorial for this boot, that the lessons taught on this is applicable to like a different boot design that someone else want to make or something. Because like I don't really understand this design, honestly. Yeah, so I'm going to do this, and you can see like because I'm selecting this right now, and I guess with live streaming it's so easy to, with live streaming it's so easy to just like go on and on about random stuff. It goes around like that. Wait, it goes around like this. And I don't need to care about editing. I don't need to care about export. I don't need to care about all that shit. And then it goes up like that. You know what? I think that's wrong. You're going to fix. I'm gonna fix this a bit. Sometimes when I'm not sure what it should look like too, like even though this is very messy right now, it's like really helpful to have this, because I can get all these negative shape information, and then when I start like going in, like when I start doing the finer details, it's a lot easier to be more precise on where things should be. But right now I'm looking at this triangle right here, and I feel like the shape looks about correct. So that's, yeah, I just do things based on feeling. It goes up like that. This one, where is it? Okay, I guess I just end this here because I don't know where it is. And honestly, I don't really know whether I'll be able to make good tutorials. I don't even know what kind of energy I want to be. Like, is it going to be some I don't know. Is it dry? Is it a fast edit? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm also overthinking it too much, and that's why I'm procrastinating. And yes, I shouldn't be procrastinating, but I wanna cry. Okay, I'm just going to hide this and at the back side. And this one, it doesn't make sense. It should go down. So like even from here, I can see right now that this shape is correct. This shape is a bit off. Then this shape, yeah, like this one is wrong. Like it has to be down here, something like that. I'm not going too specific. And then now I can tell, like, oh, this area here is too big. I'm looking. So like this one is here. But because now I can see that this is too much. Now I know that his legs are too long. So there's something to, those are kind of things that I think about. I feel like okay. Yeah, so like you can tell like during the block-in phase that I was having a lot of trouble trying to figure out how short his leg is supposed to be. But then now I have like these shapes to help me. I mean, obviously if my anatomy knowledge is impeccable, then I wouldn't have to go through this kind of shit. But yeah, let me just turn this like that, and then one final, I'm just gonna do this view because I should really be going, and then I keep forgetting where my inflate tool is on my keypad. Ta-da! guess because it's the bottom of the leg. Sharper like this. Like that. And even here, like there's a crease like that. Something like this. And obviously this shape is wrong, but I just want to demo. And I think around this time I'm still at 100% because his creases are not, it's not super, like, they are lumpy shapes, right? So I don't really need to go, I'm really happy with this. Maybe I'll go a bit higher to smooth out these like low poly look like this. Like that. But then I know that there's a crease here where the boots fold down. And because of that, I want to go higher up like this. Like this. Obviously, I'm not caring about what happens behind. I'm just working on this angle. And then for this bottom piece, because the sole of the boot is definitely flat, so I'm going to, I feel like every time I get into a stream, I get into a flow that makes me not want to stop when I need to stop and go to sleep. Okay, this is the last one. I guess it's a different type of procrastination now. I guess it's a good kind of procrastination. This one. I'm just going to do this like that, like very roughly shape out his. This is also how I made Masmus sandals. So roughly shape out like that. And the nice thing about Nomad right now is that I can lock the view. Here I feel like it's a bit too high. Can I don't need so much subdivisions. Okay, maybe like this. And then validate. And I'm going to move this around. And then because of this, because the shoe is like, they're just based on knowledge of doing retopology classes and stuff. Usually for topology of flat surfaces, you still want it to be hope I'm drawing it right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like this. So maybe I'm just going to quickly add this. So I'm thinking about the cube. Like this is obviously the wrong topology, but I try to think about it this way, and then the corners, this corner here, I tend to just put it at this positions, if that makes sense. That's what I'm doing. And because I'm locked into this, I don't have to worry about my shoe being like uneven on the y axis. Very rough right now. I just want things to be like that, and then now I start smoothing out, and then same thing. Starting to look like a shoe, like the base of the shoe. At this point, I'm just moving things a bit and then pressing very lightly. Pressing very lightly. Press, press, press. Sometimes even tapping. Tap, tap. That's good enough, I guess. Something like this. Then now I think it's a bit thicker though. Okay. Then I can start matching this. Because this is a flat area, it can go really low. It's not working out. I'm just gonna move this. Because I can spend more time to really make it neat, but right now it's just the idea of just doing the idea of it. Then I drop this, I paint this, and now there is a base of the shoe. Obviously it's not the best. But at times like this, it's good to have a good to just use the box to make it, instead of like, let's say if I'm just going to drag this out, instead of like moving a piece off. Sometimes with dynamic topology, it's really hard to like do this and then like try to make things really uniform. Yeah, when it comes to uniform shapes, I guess. See, like that, then it's like, oh, it's so lumpy. So I prefer to use something like this and keep it simple. It still looks a bit weird, but just ignore the weirdness for now. Because from a distance it looks fine. Probably one of the weird things is that this thing is so low poly, and then there's like a crease here. It's a crease here, it goes in, goes out, then smooth it out. Ta-da! It's going to be the weekend. I hope that you have a good weekend. Thank you for staying with me in this live stream. I hope that it's helpful, that it's fun, and I hope that you have. Oh my god, his legs are so big. I made his legs too big, and this is too. I think this is supposed to be darker. It's so annoying. Puts. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the